Hello developers. In this video, I am going to explain how to target Android 15 devices with edge-to-edge support in your Android app. As you might already know, the edge-to-edge enforcement is the major UI behavioral change on Android 15 devices. The documentation says apps are edge-to-edge by default on devices running Android 15 if the app is targeting Android 15, that is API level 35. But this is true only when your app uses Material 3 Compose components. If your app uses Material 2 or Google Material Components or Android Views, then this is a breaking change that might negatively impact your app's UI. For example, see here, if your app is targeting Android 14, that is the target SDK is 34, then your app looks like this on Android 15 device. But if your app targets Android 15, that means if you change the target SDK to 35, then your app looks like this on Android 15 device by enforcing edge-to-edge display. See, many elements are hidden by status bar, navigation bar or display cutout. So, you need to apply necessary changes to make your app look like this on Android 15 device. The app is edge to edge and also displays all the UI elements in the proper display area. So, let's see what are all changes required to achieve this edge to edge display in our Android apps. And also let me explain how to make your app backward compatible with edge-to-edge enforcement. This video will be a bit lengthy because I am going to take 3 different projects to explain the various APIs and attributes you can use to handle insets to avoid the system UI overlaps and display cutouts. I will mostly cover the required changes and important considerations while supporting edge-to-edge. However, you can correct me if I am wrong and if I miss anything in this video. Okay, let's get into the actual video. Hello friends, welcome back to Ireka Tech Solutions. So this is the Android developer support page which explains the edge-to-edge handling in Android app. You can go through this page for any further clarifications. I will give this link in the description box for your reference. Okay, first let me open my project, Telugu Voice Notes in Android Studio. I have installed the app in Android 15 emulator, that is SDK 35. This is a voice notes app where users' Telugu speech is converted to text. Okay, and the same app I have installed on Android 14 device as well. Okay, let me open it in a separate window. See, now the app looks similar in both the Android versions because my app is targeting Android 14, that is Android SDK 34. So now let's see how to support edge-to-edge functionality in our Android app. Okay, this is the edge-to-edge screen where the app display is extended to status bar and navigation bar. But in our app currently, the display doesn't cover status and navigation bars. So to enable edge-to-edge display, we need to follow some steps. Initially, these steps seems to be difficult, but once you understand the concept, they look so simple and I will try to explain in a simple way for you. Okay. So the first step is, if your app targets SDK 35 or later, edge-to-edge is automatically enabled for Android 15 devices or later. So let's target SDK 35. Go to the project, open the Gradle file, change the target SDK to 35 and also compile SDK to 35. Sync the Gradle files. Okay, this is showing an error. It looks like you just edited the target SDK version from 34 to 35 in the editor. Be sure to consult the documentation. Okay, this is just a warning message to remind us to handle the behavioral changes introduced in Android SDK 35. Click on this red balloon. Select this override warning. I know what I am doing. Okay, the error is gone. Now run the project in Android 15 device. Yes, see, the app display is extended to system bars. It was like this previously, now it is like this. See, all the screens have become edge to edge on Android 15 device. Okay, next point. To enable edge to edge for Android 14 and below, call edge to edge.enable of this in on create of your activity before set content view. That means changing the target SDK to 35 will not have any impact on Android 14 and lower devices. See, Android 14 was not affected with this change. So, to handle edge to edge in Android 14 and lower devices, we need to explicitly enable edge to edge in activity class. Okay, so first let me open my home activity. Call edge to edge. Oh, there is no API for that. In this case, we need to add that particular dependency in build.gradle file. For Java users, first one is enough, and for Kotlin users can copy the second one as well. So copy this Android x.activity dependency, add it in build.gradle file. Mention the latest version. Okay, sync the Gradle files. Now come back to activity, call edge to edge API dot enable of this. Now run the project in Android 14. See, this has also become edge to edge. But when you open another activity, edge to edge is not supported because we have enabled edge to edge only in home activity. To support edge to edge for all the screens, we need to enable this in all the activities. Okay, I will show you that later. Next point is you can enable edge to edge manually also in Android 14 and lower devices without using enable edge to edge function. You can go through this page for that code usage, but I think that is such a waste of time. Instead of adding one line edge to edge.enable, you need to add some bunch of lines both in Java and in XML files to handle edge to edge. So I do not prefer this way. Okay, so after the first slide, we understood how to enable edge to edge in both Android 15 and in lower devices. Now let's understand display cutout insets. As you can see here, some display content is extended to status bar and even to the navigation bar. See, the buttons at the bottom are displayed behind the navigation bar. So this is called display cutout. The display cutout is at the top of the screen and included in the status bar when the device is in portrait mode. In the landscape mode, the cutout may be on the vertical edge. See, if you turn this device to landscape, the display cutout is in the vertical edge. Okay. So, to avoid display cutouts, we should implement padding to the views on the screen. So, we need to apply display cutouts for our activities. Open this home screen layout file. This is our screen. We need to apply padding in all the edges of this layout. So give an ID for this layout home. Come to the activity class. Copy this method, add it in the activity. This code snippet you can find it in the developer page, which I have specified in the beginning of this video. You can get that link in the description box. Okay, import the missing classes. So here we are using set on apply window insets listener method to apply insets of system bars and display cutout to the specified view. So here we need to mention that view. In our case, it is the home linear layout. So get the view by ID, layout home. Now call this method apply display cutouts in onCreate. Okay, now let's run the project on Android 15 device. Yes, see the display cutout padding is applied. The content is displayed below the status bar and the status bar also appeared transparent. But this cutout is handled only on home screen. When we go to the other screens, display cutout is still there. So let's handle display cutouts for this activity as well. Okay, open the sentence activity class. First step, enable edge to edge. This is to support Android 14 and lower devices. Now open the layout file, specify the ID for the view to which you want to apply the padding. Layout sentence. Now come to the activity. Copy this method apply display cutout to this sentence activity. Change the ID name here and call this method in onCreate. Okay, done. So we are applying padding to this sentence layout. So top and bottom padding is applied to avoid display cutouts on the system bars when the device is in portrait, and the left and right padding is applied to avoid display cutouts at the vertical edges when the device is in landscape mode. Okay, now let's run the project. Go to the sentence activity. Yes, see the display cutout insets are applied. You can see the bottom buttons above the navigation bar, and inset is applied on the top as well, and it is edge to edge. Now let's turn the device to landscape. Yes, display cutout insets are applied on left and right vertical edges as well. But see, other activities are still not completely edge to edge. Okay, let me quickly handle the insets in other activities as well. The steps you already know. Open the activity, enable edge to edge, open layout file, add ID to the view, come back to activity, add the method called apply display cutout. Don't forget to change the view ID here. Now call this method in onCreate. Same thing I am doing for my checklist activity as well. Okay, done. So literally we need to handle them in all our activities. Now run the project. See, all my app screens look edge to edge now. Okay, now let's run the app on Android 14. Yes, see app looking edge to edge on Android 14 also. So that means just by enabling edge to edge and handling display cutouts made my app look edge to edge. But not completely, because we still have things to be taken care. Let's see what are those. Go to next slide. System bar insets. System bar insets represent the area where the system UI displays in the Z-axis above your app. For example, floating action button here. This fab is over the screen display, but it is overlapping with bottom navigation bar. So to avoid this kind of visual overlap in either gesture mode or button mode, you can increase the view's margins using set on apply window insets listener. You know we have used the same method to set the padding to avoid display cutout. But here we are going to apply margins to the view floating action button. And instead of system bars and display cutout, here we are going to use only system bars and apply left, bottom and right margins to the view. Actually, I don't have this view type in my project to show you, but I am sure you can achieve this system bar insets by just applying margins with this method. Okay, now let's go to the next slide. Status bar. You know the system bar means status bar and navigation bar together. So when you handle edge to edge, both status bar and navigation bar has to be visible on the screen with transparent backgrounds. Means the status bar icons like timestamp, charging percentage and notification icons has to be visible on the screen with app theme background. But see, in our app, status bar space is there, but icons are not visible. That means my app is displaying over the status bar. So in this case, to view the status bar, do not apply window full screen attribute for the app theme. Okay, let's open the themes.xml file in resource values folder, or if you have styles.xml file, open it. See, I have window full screen attribute. Just remove this and run the app on Android 15 device. Yes, see, now the status bar can be seen, but icons are not properly visible on some screens. Because in edge-to-edge display, status bar icon colors are updated automatically when the device theme changes. See, my app theme is light theme, so the icons are displaying in dark, irrespective of the background. If you want to manually update the system bar icons colors so that they contrast with your app's background, set the appearance as window light status bar false in themes.xml. Okay, so let's copy this attribute and add it in our app theme. Run the app. Oh, okay. This didn't work, maybe because I have different activities with different background colors. Okay, let's remove this from here and try setting the appearance light status bars programmatically. Import the missing class. Okay, now run the project. Yes, the status bar icon colors are updated. We can do the same thing for other activities as well, wherever required to be changed. So copy this into notes activity as well as checklist activity. Now run the project. Yes, the home screen has black color status icons, but in other screens the status icons are in white. Okay, hope you are following. Now go to next slide. Navigation bar. As you can see here, there are two types of navigation bars available: gesture navigation and 3-button navigation. So once your app targets STK35 or later, edge to edge is enforced. The system status bar and gesture navigation bars are transparent. These two. But the 3-button navigation bar is translucent. If you see in our project, the navigation bar is translucent. That's why it is showing the light background color. If background is red, the navigation bar showing translucent red. Okay, let's check the gesture navigation mode. Go to settings, select display and touch, click on this navigation mode, change the mode to gesture navigation. Okay, come back to our app. See, the gesture navigation bar is transparent by default in edge-to-edge support. And also, this gesture navigation bar icon color changes automatically based on the screen background color. In our app also, if you see, the navigation bar icon color is black on the home screen and it is white on dark background. Okay, so gesture navigation bar is transparent by default, but 3-button navigation bar is translucent. So to remove the default translucent 3-button navigation background protection, set navigation bar contrast enforced false programmatically. Or you can add this attribute in themes.xml. But let me handle it programmatically only wherever it is required. So copy this. In home activity, add this code snippet under edge to edge enable. Okay, there is an error. Surround with if statement to check the version code, because this particular API is supported from SDK 29. Okay, so copy this same code snippet to the other activities as well. Sentence activity, notes activity and checklist activity. Now run the project. See, the navigation bar has become transparent. We can see the app background color extended to navigation space. Okay, but see, the navigation bar icon colors is in black. Let's do one thing. Let's change these navigation bar icons color also. Just like how we have changed status bar icons color. Copy this, set appearance light status bars code line. Change the API to set appearance light navigation bars false to update the navigation icons colors. Run the project. Oh, but it didn't work. I'm not sure why. If anybody of you know how to change 3-button navigation bar icons colors, please leave a comment. So I have integrated edge-to-edge support in my app. So you need to test all the screens in portrait and landscape modes before uploading to Play Store. Okay, so just by doing 5 important steps: enabling edge to edge, handling display cutout insets, handling system bar insets, changes for status bar and navigation bar, we can support edge to edge in our app. Okay, so let's test these changes in Android 14. Yes, edge to edge is working in Android 14 as well. Oh, the navigation bar icon colors are changed to white in sentence activity, but no change for these activities. That's because of this code snippet set appearance light navigation bars. Okay, this is not working on Android 15 device, but it's working on Android 14. So let's copy this code to other activities. Okay, done. Now run the app once again. On home screen, the icons are in black. Go to other screens. Yes, the icon colors are updated to white. Check the app in landscape mode also if your app is supporting landscape. Yes, everything is working fine. Hope you understood the concept of edge to edge and the basic necessary changes to be done to support edge to edge in your Android app. Let me summarize what all changes I have done to support edge to edge. Okay, this is my Beyond Compare application. I am using this to compare the folders and files. So the files changed are marked in red. Modules build.gradle file. In this, the target SDK is updated to 35, compile SDK as well, and added the dependency to get the Edge API. Next, in source folder, activities are updated. In activity, I have enabled edge to edge, handle status bar and navigation bar icon colors, and remove translucent 3-button navigation bar color, and handle display cutouts by applying padding. Yes, the same thing in home activity as well. Applied display cutouts and handle necessary system bar changes. Same for other activities. Next, go to resource folder, open styles.xml. Here the window full screen attribute was removed to show the status bar. Next, layout files are updated with layout ID to handle display cutout. So that's all. These are the basic changes to be done in Android app when you are using Google Material components in your project. Okay, let me take my another project. Close this project. Opening True Translator project. This is a Telugu to other language translator app. This is already available in Play Store. So on Android 15 device, my app looks like this. Status bar has adapted the app background, but not navigation bar. Okay, let's open the app on Android 14. Okay, these are the screens. This app uses bottom navigation view template. It has only one activity with 3 fragments. Okay, now let's see how to handle edge to edge in this type of app. Okay, let's follow the same steps. First, update the target SDK to 35 along with compile SDK. Now open the activity to enable edge to edge for backward compatibility. So here I have only one main activity and others are fragments. So open this activity class, call edge to edge.enable of this. See, in this project edge to edge API is already available. We need not add the dependency in build.gradle. Because in build.gradle, one of these dependencies, Android X libraries, already using Android X.activity library internally. So I haven't added activity dependency in my Gradle file. Okay, next display cutout. Okay, before handling display cutout insets, let me run the app on Android 15 device. Okay, edge to edge is enabled. But if you see here, the display is behind this bar. Okay, this is an action bar. This was not there in my previous project. And if you observe here, the bottom navigation bar is not overlapped with this system navigation bar. Because by default, the bottom navigation bar material component supports edge to edge. So next, to handle display cutout, we need to apply padding. So copy this. Come down, open the activity layout file to set the layout ID. Okay, the ID was already set. This is the bottom navigation bar. This is the fragment. And this is the add view space. Okay, now in activity, paste the apply display cutout method. Import the missing classes. And the view ID is container only. So no need to change. Now call this method in onCreate. Now run the app on Android 15 device. Okay, there is no change in the display. Some content is displayed behind the action bar because the action bar is not a part of the activity. So the activity is shifted up behind the action bar when edge to edge was applied. So we handle this situation in two ways. First one is removing this action bar completely, and the second is replacing the action bar with app bar layout and toolbar. For both of them, first we need to change the theme to no action bar theme. So open resource folder, values, themes.xml. So here if you see, the theme is material components.light.dark action bar. So change this to no action bar. Okay, this thing has to be done in night themes.xml file also. See here, after applying no action bar theme, the display is extended till status bar. Now come back to activity class. Comment this setup action bar with navigation controller API call, because we do not have action bar now in our app theme. Now run the app. Yes, see, the display is edge to edge without action bar. So if you want to fix this action bar issue, you can just avoid using action bar theme and comment this action bar line of code. See, this is just fine even in landscape mode. Okay, let me install this on Android 14 as well. Yes, edge to edge enabled and display cutout also handled. But if you want that action bar to display the screen name or for any other reason, then you need to add toolbar in place of action bar. So go to layout file, add app bar layout above the fragment. Apply width, match parent, height is wrap content. Add ID, app bar. Okay, now we need to add the missing constraints. Copy these constraints, add them here. So this app bar layout bottom should be at the top of this fragment. Okay, next left, right and top constraints are aligned to parent. Okay, now we need to change fragment constraints based on this app bar layout. Fragment bottom is to the top of banner add view, that is okay. But the fragment top has to be to the bottom of this app bar. Okay, now add the toolbar inside app bar layout. Width is match parent. Height will take action bar size. Specify the ID as toolbar. Okay, the XML part is done. Now go to activity class. Okay, this is done. Next, mention toolbar as an action bar in activity using set support action bar method. So above this navigation UI setup, mention toolbar as action bar. For that, get the toolbar view. And set support action bar of toolbar. Now let's run the project. See, the toolbar is displayed as action bar, and below the toolbar the actual screen is displayed. Okay, now run the project on Android 14. Yes, see, this is supported in Android 14 as well. But if you observe, the app bar text color is dark and also status bar is not transparent. Actually, it has to take this app bar background color, then only the screen looks like edge to edge. Okay, so first let's fix this issue. Currently we are applying insets for the whole container. In this is the fragment space and this is app bar layout space. So we need to apply display cutout insets onto the fragment instead of whole container. Here, instead of container, we need to handle insets for the fragment view. So get that fragment view using get view by ID. So we are applying padding for the fragment. Now take the app bar insets. So this is to handle only status bar, not system bar and display cutout. Okay, so mentioning status bar. Now take the app bar view and apply padding only at the top. 0 app bar insets dot top 0 0. Now run the app. Yes, now status bar has become transparent using app bar insets. Okay, but here the padding is applied on top and bottom of the fragment, which is not required now. So for this fragment view, remove top and bottom padding and run the app. Yes, see, the display insets are handled perfectly in both portrait and landscape mode. So the major part is done. Still, some small appearance changes are pending. See, the 3-button navigation bar is translucent. It's not making any difference in portrait mode because the background color is white, but in landscape it looks different. So we already know how to remove translucent background for navigation bar. So call this set navigation bar contrast enforced method. Okay, surround with supported build SDK version. Run the app once again. Turn it to landscape. Yes, navigation bar is now transparent. Now let's change this status bar icons colors as well. This also we already know. Copy this set appearance light status bars, paste it in activity class. Now run the project. Yes, status bar icon colors are updated. Now let's handle app bar text color as well. To change app bar text color, we need to apply different theme. The current theme is light theme, so the app bar text is appearing in dark. So for app bar, we will take different style attribute and specify the parent as dark.action_bar theme, because here my app bar background color is dark. So apply this theme to app bar layout, style app bar overlay. Okay, now run the app. Yes, the app bar text color is updated. So this way, by applying different theme for app bar layout, we can change the app bar text color. So overall, to migrate this project to support edge to edge, we have enabled edge to edge, handled display cutouts, updated the status bar icons colors, removed translucent navigation bar color, and replaced the action bar with toolbar. Hope you understood till now how I have updated my app to support edge to edge. Now let me explain an impressive feature, that is immersive mode. Immersive mode is nothing but full screen mode without any indicators on the status bar and navigation bar. See, like this. This is generally useful in case of videos, games and image galleries, etc. So to hide the system bars, we can use this window insets controller compat.hide method, and to show the system bars again, we can call window insets controller compat.show method. And the complete code you can get from this link. I'll give this link in the description box. So this is the code. So copy this code, come back to the project, add a method called hide system bars and paste that code here. Import the missing classes. Okay, here on click of some button, they are hiding and showing the system bars. But in our case, on clicking anywhere on the screen, system bar should hide and show back. So here I am taking the container on click listener just to show you. Okay, now call this method in onCreate. Run the app. Okay, now click on the screen. Yes, see, the system bars are hidden. Now click once again anywhere on the screen. The system bars are appeared back. And we can hide the system bars on the launch itself. Copy this line here, hiding system bars. Now run the project. Yes, see, on the first display itself, the system bars are hidden. And on clicking the screen, system bars are showing back. This is called immersive mode. But this behavior is not suitable for all the screens. Handle this only when it is necessary in your app. For my project, this is not necessary, so I am commenting it out. Next, display cutout on Android 14 and below. Sometimes the content will not be displayed in cutout area. It leaves a blank area in left edge, particularly in landscape mode. Let's run the app on Android 14. Turn the device to landscape mode. See, there is a cutout area in the left edge. The app is not displaying edge to edge on landscape mode. But if you see, the same app is displayed edge to edge on Android 15 device. That means if your app targets STK35 and is running on an Android 15 device, set on apply window insets listener, that is this one, handles display cutout and ensures an edge to edge display. But in case of Android 14 and below, setting the display cutout mode controls how your content is drawn in the cutout area. So we can specify this attribute window layout in display cutout mode in XML file with one of these 4 values. If you pass default value, the content renders into the cutout area when displayed in portrait mode but is letterboxed when in landscape mode. Always means content always renders into the cutout area. And same for short edges also, content always renders into the cutout area. But if you pass the value never, then content never renders into the cutout area. So if you don't specify this attribute, it takes default behavior. So let's specify this attribute with always or short edges to display content into cutout area. Paste that attribute in themes.xml. Specify the value as always. Now run the project. Yes, see, the cutout area was gone. The display rendered into the cutout area. Okay, the same display cutout mode we can handle programmatically also by specifying this code snippet. Layout in display cutout mode with one of these layout parameters. For the apps running on Android 15 device, the layout in display cutout mode always is the only allowed and default mode to ensure an edge-to-edge display. Means even if you specify never for this display cutout mode, the app displays edge-to-edge on Android 15 device irrespective of mode specified. So if you want, we can try this programmatically also. Copy this, remove this attribute from themes.xml file, add the code in activity class. Okay, surround with version SDK if condition. Now run the app on Android 14. Turn the app to landscape mode. Yes, edge to edge is handled. So we have to check edge to edge on Android 14 and below devices always. Okay, next slide. Edge to edge considerations. I have noted down some important key points for your reference. The first point, setting the status bar color and navigation bar color using these APIs are deprecated in Android 15. So do not use these attributes in themes.xml. Next, to make status bar translucent, use window translucent status true. And to make navigation bar translucent, use window translucent navigation is true. Okay, let me show you how the attributes work. Copy this and paste it in themes.xml. Same way navigation bar attribute also. Now run the app. Yes, see, both status and navigation bars are displayed as translucent. Like this. Okay, this feature you can use wherever it is required in your app. Next, set clip to padding equals to false to the recycler view so that padding scrolls with list items. Like this. So to achieve this behavior, in case of a screen contains recycler view, then along with display cutout padding, you need to specify this attribute in your layout file for the recycler view. Okay. Next point, prefer view compat dot set on apply window insets listener over fit system windows true. Means it is better to handle insets Using this set on apply window insets listener instead of this attribute fits system windows. Because in the recent Android 15 APIs, this is not much useful. Okay, next use material components to make handling insets easier. These are the material view components that automatically handle insets: bottom app bar, bottom navigation bar, navigation rail view and navigation view. If your app is using material 3 components, edge-to-edge support becomes more easy because these are some list of components from material 3 that automatically handle insets. So you need not have much work when you are migrating your app to edge when you are using material 3 components. And finally, I have given some reference links to support edge in your Compose and Kotlin apps. I'll specify these links in the description box also. The same procedure you can follow how we have done for Java project. You can take the code from these reference pages for Compose and Kotlin projects. Okay, so just by considering these first 5 slides, you can handle edge-to-edge support in your app easily. Hope you understood clearly. So finally, let's summarize these points by implementing edge-to-edge in another app quickly. So close this project. Opening my Telugu calendar app. Okay, run the app first. Okay, this is my app. Status bar and navigation bar are out of display area. Let's handle edge-to-edge on this app. As usual, we know the steps. First, open build.gradle file. Update target and compile SDK to 35. Sync the Gradle files. Run the app on Android 15. See, the app is displayed edge-to-edge, but the bottom navigation bar is overlapping with my add view, and also the content is shifted up behind the action bar. Okay, now let's open the calendar view activity. First, enable edge-to-edge for backward compatibility. Next, handle the display cutouts. So copy this code into the activity. Import the missing classes. Okay, here we are not using binding variable. So open the layout file. We need to handle display cutout for this whole root linear layout. ID is already specified. So get the view from the ID. ll_root. Okay, now run the project. Yes, see, the content is displayed perfectly fine. But the display cutouts we need to handle for other activities as well. Okay, here the status bar icons are not displayed. So let's copy this code snippet. Set appearance light status bar of false into the activity class. And also open themes.xml or styles.xml from resource folder and remove this window full screen attribute from the theme. Okay, now run the app. Yes, see, the status bar icons are displayed and the app screen looks edge-to-edge. So this way we can migrate any Android app to support edge-to-edge by following these important guidelines. And finally, one important note I wanted to tell you here. After targeting SDK 35 to support edge to edge, before publishing the app to Play Store, if possible, test the app on minimum 5 devices, real Android devices with different Android versions. Or if not possible to test on real devices, at least test the app on different Android version emulators. So hope this video gave clear picture on edge-to-edge support on the Android app. If you think this video was helped you to solve at least one problem while handling edge-to-edge at your end, then please like the video, comment and subscribe to iReka Tech Solutions. Thank you.